Part 406. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4051. Fang Fan said this very frankly. This shows that he has enough confidence. You must know that the demigod powerhouses belonging to the Light Camp, the Dark Camp, and even the Protostian Lin City have basically come to this so-called God's relic. Now there are only a few dead left. Kill these few again, and the major forces will fall into a period of emptiness in the semi-god state. The strong demigods and the top demigods were wiped out. The weak and demigod basically can't see it with a single glance. The quasi-god realm may also be able to dominate one side. Fang Fan shook his head. He didn't think so much about these things. Arrogance. You don't have a single demigod over there, how dare you mock the existence of a demigod? Snort. It's true that a newborn calf is not afraid of tigers. The point is, you don't understand anything. Peak demigod realm, that's a whole new level. It's not something you can stop with a group of strong demigods. Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, looked at Fang Fandao with disdain. Then he was the first to sprint over. Several other top-notch demigods were also moved after hearing the news, and they all rushed over crazily at the moment. For a moment, Senran's killing intent swept wildly around, as if to completely crush everything in front of him. That feeling, swept through the whole body, and for a moment, the whole body felt icy cold. As if in a sea of ice, the consciousness of the whole person was numb. Immediately, even the most basic movements gradually became depressed. Excited heart, trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can we understand the trueness of this feeling. Peak demigod combat power. Is it rare? Dragon Man Legion, it's time for you to play. Comprehensive killing. Quick battle. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, snorted coldly, and then showed and gathered the infinite combat power around him bit by bit. The sense of oppression gradually became stronger. Crazy consciousness invaded crazily in his mind, and for a while, he didn't know what it meant. There are a total of 18 dragon knights and real dragons in the strong demigod dragon army. When they cast the Legion's exclusive skill Human-Dragon Unity, their combat power will be unleashed without limit, and then there will be a strong sense of oppression, which will completely oppress you to the extreme, and then even the most basic attack will disappear. Without a trace. At the end of the day, there is nothing to say at the moment. The feeling is there, the consciousness is clear, and the rest, slowly and comprehensively come to an end. That's basically what happened, very real and very clear. In the state of human-dragon integration, these dragon knights have the head of a human and the body of a dragon, but their hands are not claws. Looking at the past, inexplicably, there is a feeling of 4 different things. It does look a little strange in appearance, but the key point now is naturally not here. What is needed now is combat power. Crazy combat power. What kind of monsters are these? Do you know what kind of creature this is? A dragon? Or a human? Dragonoid? Dragonoids don't have such freaks either. Wang Tu frowned, couldn't help complaining, and immediately made a gesture to kill the Shenlong Gren in front of him directly. Boom! There was no reaction to his attack. On the contrary, it was because the attack power he unleashed was not too strong, so his body actually took a few steps back. Wang Tu's body suddenly trembled crazily. What other thoughts do you have this time? The only an endless sense of fear swept through my heart. For a moment, he panted wildly, and then his consciousness was completely suppressed. Grass. This is also a hammer. This is so humming cold, you know? At the moment, how do you still want to follow the waves? Bells. Is this what makes you feel good? This. That's it? The bastard is home, you know? I am a supreme demigod. They can take my attack so easily. Don't tell me that they all have the ultimate demigod combat power. Cao. Wang Tu's body trembled, and he glanced at the 18 Shenlong Gren with resolute faces in front of him, and immediately became confused. What the hell, hit a hammer. 6 vs 18? 1 hit 3? I don't believe that all of these are extremely powerful demigods. When did Judeon demigod become so worthless? Impossible. Impossible. Anyway, the top demigod powerhouse is also the supreme existence. In this world, he is absolutely invincible. If he had already owned a dozen or so top demigods, how could he have been suppressed by us before? Fake. It must be fake. Snort. Anyway, I definitely won't believe it. Create this kind of fake news to fool me. Oh. Do you really think I'm that deceitful? Damn. Damn. The attitude of gnashing teeth around him was fully displayed, and while talking at the moment, the eyelids were jumping up little by little. For a moment, his eyes trembled, and the aura of the whole body directly swept into place. For a moment, there was an extremely strong sense of oppression, as if everything in front of him was about to be completely crushed to the extreme. For these top demigods, they naturally didn't believe that there were more than a dozen top demigods following Fang Fan. Has the top demigod powerhouse become a rotten street existence? Then their advantage will be gone, and the chance of trying to seize the ladder will instantly become 99% to freezing point. For a moment, he couldn't say a word, his eyes trembled, and his thoughts continued to be messy in his mind. It is more than words. With such a rhythm and consciousness, slowly, the hips will be pulled. But when these dragon people fought with them, the 6 supreme demigods couldn't help but began to retreat steadily. At this moment, the Shenlong Gren Legion showed the most powerful attack power. Even if they don't want to admit it anymore, they can only acquiesce. I've become a master. I've really become a master. Missed. No chance. I've said it a long time ago. I've said it a long time ago. Fang Fan must be killed as soon as possible. If you don't listen, you will even cause civil strife. Okay, now it's completely taken care of, we have no chance. There is no chance at all. There is only a dead end in front of us now. A dead end. I don't believe in evil. I don't believe in evil. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gritted his teeth viciously, and at this moment, the endless breath from all over his body was exploding crazily. All of a sudden, the surrounding air is cracking or even bursting little by little. Under the shining of the sun, everything on the ground floor was illuminated brilliantly. Fang Fan. Die. Die. Our grievances cannot be resolved. One must die. The one who died must be you. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. Even if it's self-destruct. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4052. In Wang Tu's eyes, blood started to gurgle. Blood fell crazily, dripping and dripping on the ground, and then completely soaked the ground in blood red. The blood red color is bright, and it makes people feel a sense of panic from the heart. For a while, his lips were murmured, and his breathing was a little difficult. All kinds of actions seemed to end at this moment. He was overwhelmed to the ground by 2 divine dragonmen with unrivaled demigod combat power. Then his body couldn't move. Explode. Explode. I'm going to blow myself up. Wang Tu roared heart-piercingly, and the blood and tears in his eyes became more real. From the position of the head, wisps of milky white liquid flowed out frantically. The blue veins on the forehead protruded a little bit, and the power of various peak bloodlines stretched out, as if to completely sweep everything around to the extreme. For a moment, unable to speak a word, the whole person fell into extreme numbness, completely unable to wake up. This time, it was like falling headlong into a quagmire, and then I was stuck in it for a few times, and finally I couldn't get up, just stuck in it, and then I just followed suit. Of course, in the end Wang still failed to blow himself up. At the moment when he was about to explode, a Shenlong Gran swung a sharp blade and cut off his head. The gurgling blood flowed out frantically, completely soaking the surrounding area. At a glance, there are dirty bloodstains all around. The bloodstained scene is inexplicably disturbing. At this moment, her lips were trembling, and she still wanted to say something in her heart, but gradually, she fell into a mess and couldn't extricate herself from it. Want to say something, but can't say it. Just like that taste, it seemed extremely painful invisibly. While his teeth were trembling slightly, black lines flickered frantically on his forehead. Wang Tu is really dead. This is a fact. Once a person dies, he cannot be resurrected. Wang Tu, although he is a newly promoted demigod, but no matter what, he is a real demigod. Although there is a bit more nonsense, but the combat power of the absolute peak demigod is there. Now it's been cut off so casually. The moment when the blood flowed crazily was destined to be extraordinary at this moment. All of a sudden, the surrounding people stared wide-eyed, breathing and gasping, all in place. This time, I don't know what special feelings I should express. At this moment, his hands and feet are cold, and he can barely maintain his combat power under the full-scale attack of the Shenlong Gran Legion. Too difficult. This is clearly being hanged and beaten. In this world, this Fang Fan is already invincible. Who else could be his opponent? A wave of suppression is in place, crushing all dissatisfaction. Everyone will be completely obliterated by Qi. Excited heart, trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can one understand this extremely crazy consciousness. Numb, too numb. At this moment, some demigods couldn't hold on anymore. He can't take it anymore. Little friend Fang Fan, in fact, there is no big enmity between you and me at all. I have always been very optimistic about you. Actually, we can be very good friends. Since the first time I saw you, I felt that little friend Fang Fan would definitely make a big career in the future. At that time, Yuji will definitely be suppressed. Facts have proved that I was not mistaken. Fang Fan's talent, I can't help it if I don't admire it. Little friend Fang Fan is so strong. Little friend Fang Fan, I was actually dragged here by him. Cough. Now, you should let me go. I will never fight with you again. There's no need to call back and forth between you and me. A family is a family, isn't it? Haha. Motion, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, began to forcibly pull the relationship. Most of what he said was nonsense. It doesn't sound like much. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth twitched slightly, this time his eyebrows were slightly raised, and there was a special thoughtful look on his face. This guy probably has a bad brain, right? Does he think there is any room for negotiation under the current situation of life and death? This is truly whimsical. All these avenues have been tightly blocked. Want to escape from here, do you think it is possible? This path is very realistic. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. In the end, I was at a loss as to what to do. In vain. In vain. How can there be such a cheap thing in this world? When you want to kill me, you don't need my consent, just kill me directly. Now you think you can't kill me, so you want to leave the battlefield intact. Do you think it's possible? When you rush over, you should be prepared to be counter-killed. Look, take a good look at those bodies on the ground. After a while, you will probably become one of them, right? It's also time to make a conclusion. Fang Fan smiled slightly, then stood aside, watching the battle continue in madness. At this moment, in his heart, there is only endless pleasure. In this wave, all threats are completely locked. Fang Fan let out a sigh of relief. What he wanted was actually this effect. Very graceful. He likes it too. Fang Fan. What do you mean? You don't leave me a way out. You cold-blooded executioner. I don't want the divine ladder anymore. I don't want to snatch the godhead either. Can't I just leave? Ah. Do you have to kill them all to feel comfortable? Asshole. What kind of heart do you have in mind? What the hell are you thinking? Damn it. Damn it. Bastard. You bastard. If I risk my life to fight back, you will not be in any good. At that time, you will also suffer boundless punishment. You will die too. You want me to die? Then I will let you die too. Mo Tien roared, and then sprinted frantically towards Fang Fan's direction. The heart must die now. By chance, this guy was able to break through the crowd. At this moment, 5 or 6 Shenlong people were chasing him frantically behind him, but they couldn't catch up for a while. Because Mo Tien at this moment is running wildly with his own potential. At this moment, there is only one thought in his mind, and that is to kill Fang Fan. Jedi fight back. Or, take Fang Fan down, hold him hostage, and make those weird dragonmen stop attacking. Otherwise, if the fight continues like this, sooner or later, they will be broken up. Last chance. Grasp it, or you can sprint again. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4053. Anyway, now there is nothing to lose. Just fight. Fight him to shake the ground. Fight him to pieces. Near. Approaching. It's just that close. Rush over. This Fang Fan can be taken down. Is his moment of glory coming? At this last moment, the true gods finally took care of him. Endless excitement trembled wildly in my mind. For a moment, the sound of breathing was extremely rapid. At this moment, it's time to decide your destiny. Coming. It's really here. God-killing slash. Mo Tien snorted, and then mobilized all the combat power in his body, and then launched an unprecedented crazy attack. It is bound to tear a hole in front of me right now. Boom. Motion's attack was released smoothly. He felt very at ease in his heart, and felt that this time, he would definitely be able to break through the barriers, and then directly embarked on the road to success. The highlight moment, isn't it coming? Wrong. Why do you feel like you didn't hit anything? It's as if it's been beaten on some cotton, it's soft, but it doesn't feel anything. Call. What is happening? Mo Tien looked up tremblingly. Where is Fang Fan's figure at this moment? Impossible. He was here just now. Could it be that it was directly annihilated by my attack? Then turned into a piece of dust. Then you can't see it at all. Yes, is this the case? From all aspects, it is very real and very appropriate. It seems, there seems to be no accident. Motion turned his head frantically, his eyes trembled in place, and his consciousness was gradually wiped out. For a while, I didn't know how to control myself. In the end, everything went completely numb. Excited heart, trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can we know the true meaning. Mo Tien's eyes turned around, and he wanted to take another look. Look for Fang Fan's existence again, and want to confirm the thoughts in his heart. In fact, from his point of view, he knows and understands everything. But at this moment, he obviously has no chance. The few Shenlong Gren who were chasing him directly controlled him. Bind his hands and feet, and then completely oppress him. This wave is as stable as Mount Tai. Mo Tien was captured alive. Motion was trembling crazily, but he couldn't get rid of it. Ha 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 ha. Your master has been killed by me. What else are you doing for him? It's better to cooperate with us. Bring over his storage ring, and then take out the divine ladder, so that we can create a divine path and ascend to the realm of the gods together. This brother, these brothers, you talk. Isn't that clear enough? Are you afraid that there are not enough places for the road to become a god? If the quota is really not enough, how about I give up the quota to you? My words have already reached this point, I am very, very sincere. Don't embarrass me, okay? Grass. Let go of me. Could it be that you are really dead soldiers? Isn't it a little too much for you to be loyal and conscientious? Master is dead. Who are you showing it to now? Mo Tien let out a hysterical roar. At this moment, his complexion became a little gloomy. While talking, the whole person is about to vomit blood directly. Oh shit. What is going on? Can you stop for a little bit? This is so humming unbearable. He vomited blood. Totally vomited blood. The stubborn will is about to tear everything clean. Who said I'm dead? A phantom gradually condensed into reality, and Fang Fan's figure reappeared in front of everyone. From the beginning to the end, Fang Fan was intact. At that time, Fang Fan just went to the small world of Shushan Pavilion for a while. Then it became like this. Seeing Fang Fan appearing intact, Mo Tien's heart trembled completely, and his eyes were full of disbelief. Fake. It must be fake. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Back to life. Just now, it's obvious, there's nothing left. How could it be? How could it be? What the hell? Where the hell did you come from? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Crazy roars followed, and there was even gurgling blood flowing down from the depths of his eyes. Puff. Mo Tien spat out a mouthful of blood, and his whole body seemed trembling. At the moment, it was completely difficult to control himself. Thoughts, completely numb. Consciousness, no longer awake. It's cold, all the feelings are cold now. This wave, let's talk about a hammer. Even the last glimmer of hope in the bottom of my heart was shattered. Fang Fan, how are you going to deal with me? Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, took a deep breath, and then there was a tremor in his eyes. While talking, at this moment, he seemed a little restless in his heart. His hands also gradually became restless. Nervous. It's really tense now. Facing the moment of life and death, after all, you are not so open-minded. After all, this is about his own life. If you are not careful, your life will be completely over. Who can guarantee that he will not be stage fright? No stage fright, that's a dragon and a phoenix among people. Stage fright is human nature. Kill it. What else can I do? Do you have any last words? You can say them. Your Dark Temple, it seems that someone really didn't participate in this battle, maybe he can take your words back. Fang Fan glanced around, and then saw a familiar figure in a far corner. Madman, the #1 son of the Dark Temple. Fang Fan had a good impression of this rather straightforward #1 godson of the Dark Temple. Not hypocritical, but also able to assess the situation. A lot of the time it's pretty smart. Last words. No. No. I can't die. I still have to go to God's domain. How can I die? Fang Fan, for the sake of our acquaintance, let me go, okay? After all, I once helped you sideways. After all, there is still some friendship between us. It's just that I made some mistakes later on. But who is not a sage? And even sages make mistakes sometimes. If you make a mistake once, will you be banned forever? I think it's okay, you can properly give it a chance. It's just such a stick to beat him to death, it's too cruel. No, this is not good. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4054. Mo Tien is already begging for mercy at this moment. Dignity. What is that? Can you save your own life? If you can save your life and lose your dignity, it's no big deal. Anyway, I don't have the right to care about it now. Master Motion Saint, you should say your last words. At least, save yourself a face. Don't worry, I will definitely follow through on your last words. Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, stepped forward and said sincerely. Mo Tien. Grass. Want labor to die so much? What about the last words? Say the last words, I really want to die. Do you understand? The hopeless kind? I'm shaking all over my body right now. That sense of panic will completely swallow me up. Don't understand at all. Asshole. Asshole. Straight to the bastard home. Call. Hurrah. Excited heart, trembling hands, only after experiencing it personally, can one understand how crazy that extreme idea is. His complexion has even slowly become distorted. I don't say my last words. I want to live. After the last words are finished, I will die. Everyone is dead, what does this outside matter have to do with me? It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. Get out. Get out. Go away. Go away, all. Dog. I'm going to kill you. I cannot stand it anymore. Crazy roars followed, and the killing intent in the eyes was condensed to the extreme. While talking at this moment, the trembling range of the body has increased in an all-round way. That kind of crazy mood can only be understood by experiencing it personally, and it is crazy. Never mind. If you don't say it, don't say it. Then just kill it. Fang Fan yawned and looked very lazy at the moment. While talking, he yawned calmly. From the beginning to the end, I didn't care much at all. No, do not want. Don't kill me. I'm useful. I'm still useful. Let me go. I can submit to you. Be your retainer. I can follow you. Fang Fan. Lord Fang Fan. I am also a supreme demigod. Leaving me must be useful to you. I can do anything. As long as you let me live, I can help you deal with them now. Motion now doesn't want any embarrassment at all. In order to live, he has completely become anxious at the moment. While talking, he nodded frequently, and the ultimate consciousness was expanding little by little. Excited heart, trembling hands, these feelings can only be known by personal experience, they are really insane. It's really exciting. Face. What is that? Ever cared? Never mind. A thing that can directly kill you with a slap is nothing. Calm down, very calm. All in all, you must be stable in your mentality, and don't make troubles about what you have and what you don't have, as it will cause problems, and it is easy to cause big problems. Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, has already turned his face away. This wave is really eye-catching. The dog probably shook his head when he saw it. What the hell, is he still a first-class saint? Listen. What is this talking about? Invisibly, there is a feeling of slap in the face. The state of mind is instantly numb. As thoughts fluttered, a word could not be uttered. It's nothing, it's just a few slaps, it's boring, it's really not interesting. Second. Shut up. The warriors of my dark temple can't beg for mercy. If you die, you die, don't be ashamed. For a while, Pope Motu of the Dark Temple couldn't stand it anymore, it was too shameful, and he immediately stood up and scolded. Brother! You shut up. It's not you who is going to die now, of course you don't care. Look at the knife rest on your neck, are you nervous? Easier said than done. Call Lord Fang Fan. Leave them alone. I sincerely surrender. Whatever you ask me to do, I will do. Even if you let me kill my elder brother, it's fine. As long as you can spare my life. I just want to live now. To live is to have hope, to live to have hope. Mo Tian blushed, and then prayed to Fang Fan. When the panic reaches the extreme, you can't control what you have and what you don't have. At this time, the whole person is in a state of collapse. The current consciousness is also a little unclear. Gradually becoming numb to the moment, his mental state collapsed on the spot. Fang Fan. Fang Fan didn't know what to say at the moment. It seems too sandy. The consciousness of the whole person is in a tense state. At the moment, his thoughts were completely disordered. At the moment when the mind was trembling, a word could not be uttered. You can even kill your own elder brother, can I keep you? What are you keeping you for? Are you leaving me to stab me in the back? Kill it. Do it. Fang Fan waved his hand and said calmly. Obey my lord. The soldiers of the Shenlong Grand Legion nodded, and then they were ready to attack. Are you really going to kill me? Crazy. It's really crazy. Isn't it delicious to have an extremely high demigod level combat power? You do not want. Are you sure? What on earth are you thinking? Why? Why do you come to force me? Am I that easy to bully? You forced me. You forced me all. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm helpless too. Then I can only take you with me. Let's go together. Let's go together. God of destruction. Please give me strength. I sacrifice. I sacrifice everything. Kill them. Kill them. My soul, my body, everything I have is yours. Please, help me kill them. They are the most humble existence. I hate them. I hate them. I'm going to kill them. Kill. 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 Kill it. Let's all die. Let's all die, okay. Get out. Get out. All go away. I see you, it's annoying. It's annoying. Motion's mental state suddenly seemed a little out of order. Gritting his teeth at this moment, while talking, the whole person seemed in a trance. While speaking, all kinds of consciousness are about to be crushed to the extreme. While my thoughts were trembling, I didn't understand it at all. At the moment of blood collapse, everything will be destroyed. All destroyed. The mood is very explosive. Very explosive. I wanted to spit out a mouthful of blood. I can't hold it, I can't hold it. That kind of artistic conception, no one can understand. Boom. Rumble. There was a sudden thunder in the sky. Thunder and lightning. The wind is changing. For a moment, there was an extremely strong sense of oppression, as if he wanted to suppress everyone to the bottom. The sky suddenly became dark. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4055. Crazy. Second. You stop. What are you doing? If you die, you're dead. Once you're done, as long as you keep your soul, you still have a chance to be reincarnated. If you do this, it is equivalent to eradicating all hope. You really don't want to live anymore. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Crazy. You are such a crazy. Don't come here. You want to die, but I don't want to die yet. Whirring. You sacrificed your soul to the god of destruction, and you will be imprisoned by the god of destruction forever. You will never be reborn forever. Have you considered all these consequences? Stop. Talk to you. You crazy. The Dark Pope Motu's complexion suddenly became extremely vile, and while he was talking at this moment, his body was shaking more and more. While talking, the crazy consciousness is about to completely sweep to the bottom. At this moment, he couldn't say a word, and the whole person seemed in a trance. I can't say a word, I just want to vomit blood. I just want to vomit blood like crazy. That feeling, that taste, almost bombarded the whole head. Crazy. All crazy. The taste in it is even more telling to that person. Extreme consciousness makes everyone numb and crazy. In the end, I couldn't even say a word, so I could only slam my head against the wall. Crazy. Am I crazy, or are you all still narrow-minded? Now, do I have any choice? Hee. I have no chance other than doing this. There's no chance, you know that. I just want to go crazy once. Come on. Go on. Crazy. What are you afraid of? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Blood battle. Blood battle. God of destruction. I sacrifice my soul. I sacrifice my flesh. Please come. Please come quickly. Please release the law of destruction. I beg you, destroy everyone in front of you. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Death. Everyone must die. I can't live, and neither can you. Oh, yes. The great God of destruction. I want to sacrifice my blood brother. He is the Dark Pope. His soul and flesh and blood must be more delicious, right? I use the power of blood as a channel, and I will sacrifice him. Ha ha ha. Come on. Come on all. Let this storm come more heartily. I like it. I like it. That's the feeling, that's the taste. It's so cool. Do it. Do it. Do it. Motion's whole body was gradually gathered by bursts of black air, and then what flowed from his eyes was no longer bright red blood, but an extremely disgusting black liquid. While roaring at this moment, his consciousness is extremely flipping. As the words trembled, the whole person seemed to be completely accommodated in this consciousness and couldn't extricate themselves. That consciousness has completely swept him away. Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. Gee. It's still a couple. I like it. I like it. Whoosh. A gray-black light beam suddenly descended on Motion, and his tone of voice changed accordingly. Obviously, at this moment, a trace of the so-called God of destruction has entered his body, and to some extent has begun to slowly control his body. Immediately, in the astonishment of everyone, Mo-Tien actually raised his hand, and then began to gnaw crazily. The bones in that arm were bitten directly. That state makes people feel weird, inexplicable, and scalp tingling. Now the scalp feels very itchy. Madman. This is clearly a lunatic. These lunatics have all gathered together. After all this tossing, what the hell is it going to turn into? Crazy. And it looks crazy. Motion at this moment is naturally no longer the real Motion, but is controlled by a trace of God of Destruction's consciousness. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, he ate his entire left arm abruptly, then swept his evil eyes around, and then flew to the side of the Dark Pope Motu. Don't want. Roll. Motu's heart fluttered for a while, and then he felt a wave of bad feelings swept over him. Then he gritted his teeth and wanted to run away quickly. But now, where can he escape? Was directly dragged back by Motion. Don't go. Aren't you his brother? Tisk. Your direct brother has sacrificed you to me with the power of blood. You are mine too. Ha 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 ha. Your soul should be more interesting to eat. And the flesh and blood of this body is also very tight. I like it. Click. Mo Tien, whose body was controlled by a sliver of God of Destruction's consciousness, opened his bloody mouth, and then gnawed directly at the neck of the Dark Pope Mo2. That appearance and that posture seemed extremely casual. From time to time, those pupils were filled with extreme excitement and surging. While talking at this moment, the crazy consciousness is about to condense into substance. Nothing is said. This feeling became more and more intense. Immediately, it continued to demonstrate its own evil and madness. After the ultimate suppression, it was a complete smash. Ah! Ah! Let me go! Let me go! Stop biting! Ah! That's my lifeblood! Don't, stop biting! Crazy! Crazy! Mo Tien! Mo Tien! You are really my good brother. It's fine if you want to die yourself. Why did you drag me to die together? Why? Go away. Go away. Kill you. Kill you. You are dead, and you still leave me such a big hidden danger. Why? Go away. Go away. I do not want it. The Dark Pope Mo2 was completely numb. While roaring, his voice gradually became hoarse. Cried. Can't we just have a storm and cry now? Too sad, isn't it? If he is guilty, please give him a knife and kill him directly, wouldn't it be good? Why torture him like this? Now it's even more uncomfortable than 1,000 cuts. When cut to pieces by thousands of knives, at least only the body suffers extreme pain. But now, the whole scalp, the whole body and mind, and the whole soul are being eaten away. Blood flowed all over the place. The audience has already fallen into extreme shock and panic. Many people with poor endurance have already started to vomit directly. The scene became fragmented for a while. Everyone couldn't help but began to pray for their own lives. Is this the true God? God of destruction? Are you really going to destroy everything? Mo Tien is cold by himself, and he still wants to drag them on their backs. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4056. Magic Heaven. Magic Heaven. You son of a bitch. Why did my big brother feel sorry for you? Ah. You have to sacrifice me. You have to sacrifice me. You bastard. I hurt. It hurts. Give me a happy time. Give me a happy time. I can't take it, can't take it. Get out. Get out, all. Ah. Hesteri's painful howls came, and everyone in the audience couldn't help but feel their scalps go numb. Now it feels like my scalp has been peeled off. At this moment, the cry of the Dark Pope Demon 2 is really miserable. Will they also bear such a tragic fate later? Thinking of this, my whole body is trembling. It's cold. This is really going to be cold. Up and down the whole body, basically there is no good place. It's all pain. Run. Run. If you don't run, it's really too late. This divine ladder, we Protoss don't want it. It's important to save your life. The first-class god of the Protoss Tianlin city, Gusha, took a deep breath, and the expression of horror on his face was beyond words. Immediately, his anxious eyes swept across the surrounding area several times, and his whole body and mind trembled accordingly. Run first. The rest of them are there or not, nothing to care about. Anyway, This wave is over. No hurries. Don't panic. The danger is actually a great opportunity to a certain extent. The time for my Protoss to prosper may be now. Call. The key depends on whether you can grasp it. Such a good opportunity, just throwing it away. No, this won't work. I can't bear it, I absolutely can't bear it. A murmuring voice followed, and a murderous intent gradually flashed in his eyes. While his body was shaking, the eyes of Cassius, the lord of the Protostian city, gradually became crazy. Or another fight? Who can tell what will happen in the future? Cassius, are you crazy? Didn't you see that all the true gods have come out? The god of destruction, that is the god of destruction. What do you want to do? Go up to die. How can we fight against the true god? Use your brain to think about it. The true gods are gone, this is no longer something we can handle. You can't just ruin your own life just to ascend to God's domain, can you? The key is how much hope do you have to ascend to God's domain? Just say, these people in front of us, who can we beat? That Fang Fan? He has more than a dozen of the most powerful demigods under his command. We are suppressed to death. Did you see that? Killed a supreme demigod, and drove another supreme demigod crazy. Then the demigod who was driven mad sacrificed everything he had to the god of destruction. The god of destruction descended, killed that dark pope, and killed another demigod. In this ghostly place, what is the top demigod? Do you know that no one cares at all? As far as we are fluttering as if we were individuals. In the eyes of others, we are clowns. Does the clown know? Don't you understand? Do you want me to speak so directly? Crazy roars gathered in all directions, and the gloomy look in the eyes gathered to the extreme. At this moment, the rhythm and mentality are broken, and then the ultimate suppression is carried out bit by bit. You're going crazy and wild, you go by yourself. I know myself well. So I'm running now. If you don't leave, you won't have a chance to leave. Call. Crazy. A bunch of crazy. Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protostian city, muttered, then gritted his teeth, and hurriedly thought about running away. It's just that basically all roads are blocked at this time. Want to escape? Is it really that easy? Boom. Gushat's body hit an invisible wall of air. Immediately afterwards, a wave of air swept over. Gushat was dumbfounded. He stared at everything around him with wide eyes, his lips were murmured, and his heart was blank. Why is this different from what I imagined, so much difference? What has he been through? Oh my God. Is this going to be a total destruction? Why are you so cruel? Enchantment. All around is the power of enchantment. There is no escape. That god of destruction has absolutely ruined the matter. Cassius, the lord of Protostian city, said coldly. So, we are bound to die, right? We've got no hope, have we? Ah. Isn't that so? I can only wait here to die, right? Why? Why are you treating me like this? What the hell did I do wrong? I don't accept it. I don't accept it. Don't. Ah. Go away. Go away. Damn thing. Damn thing. A roar from the heart swept over, and a pair of eyes gradually soaked in blood. Mentality collapsed. Consciousness is broken. Everything is withered. In the end, how will we continue to maintain this? The consciousness of despair has completely disappeared. Gushat was hit and bloody at the barrier, but he just couldn't escape this vicious circle. He was completely locked down. He collapsed on the ground, looking at everything around him stupidly. It all felt like a dream. It's been a big dream, it's time to wake up, right? Confused eyes swept around, and this time it was unsustainable. Cool and thin, completely cool and thin. Do not be discouraged. Everything is the best arrangement. If there is no enchantment here, you may have escaped directly. In this way, you will completely miss God's domain. And if we continue to stay here and be with everyone, there may still be some hope. Heh. Heh heh. Now, the key now is whether you can seize this opportunity. Grasp it, everything is flying. If you can't grasp it, everything will be destroyed. Actually, it's been that realistic from beginning to end. Shall we join hands together? Ancient Temple. Warrior of my Protoss. Cassius, the lord of the Protostianland city, licked his lips and walked a few steps silently while talking. One step at a time. Gradually, everything was suppressed in place. The extremely crazy thoughts are slowly being destroyed invisibly. The mood is eager, the idea is urgent. You are really crazy. Still here dreaming this unrealistic dream. The domain of the gods has nothing to do with our gods. Although we are a god race, although we claim to be descendants of the true God, we are all deceiving ourselves. I've been deceiving myself a lot, yet I'm still sure. Hee hee. Ridiculous. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4057. At this moment, the ancient temple seems to be gradually waking up. He raised his eyes and glanced at the dark Pope Demon II, who had been almost devoured, feeling inexplicably desolate in his heart. That dark Pope, Demon II, can be considered a hero, right? In all respects, it's not bad. But now? What is the ending now? Haven't you already seen it? Desolate. Numbness. Sad. These emotions may be present. Deep in my heart, I was silently paying homage. We are like pigs raised by the god of destruction. They will all be slaughtered one by one and eaten. That guy is our future fate. I think we can choose to kill ourselves before he eats us. In this case, at least the minimum decency can be maintained. So, I feel good, very good. I like this. The murmuring sound followed, and Gusha's complexion gradually turned pale. He has completely lost hope for the future. It is also time to die. Seeing the dark Pope Motu being swallowed abruptly, the light Pope Yuan Hanlin, who is also the Pope, is already sweating crazily at this moment. He didn't think his fighting power was much stronger than that of Motu. Both have always been 50-50. This old enemy who has been fighting with him for countless tens of thousands of years, just ended his domineering life like this. So death is really so easy? Totally, not feeling anything at all, and then it's over? In the depths of the soul, there is a trace of fear, and even a trace of numbness. At the moment when it is getting colder, there is no need to say anything. It's over, this is the beginning of the end. It's completely over. 6 supreme demigods, now there are only 3 left. Half dead. That motion is now occupied by the god of destruction, and I don't know whether it is alive or dead. Anyway, all this has reached the most critical moment. Next, is there something I should do next? Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin ruled for 1,000,000 years. On the territory of the Light Camp, that is also the existence second only to God, and all the people can only humbly submit to him before him, and then frantically follow him to kowtow. But at this moment, when facing this situation, he really felt a sense of panic and uneasiness. Heart tangled and painful. I don't know it at all, so I don't know how to implement the next plan at all. Maybe I never had the fate to enter God's domain in this life. Keep pushing until the end, but it's just burying myself in it. Heh. Heh heh. Other than that, it doesn't make any sense. Regret. I've always been asking for things that don't belong to me. Now I'm fine, and I can't control myself at all. Then, be completely cool. Anyway, I can see through it. Heh. Heh heh, that's it, that's it. Others, I don't want to say so much. Boring, too boring. That's not what I want either. If I didn't come to join in the fun, I would still be the supreme pope of light, admired by hundreds of millions of people. I was the one who smashed a trump card to pieces. Ha 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 ha. Idiot. I am an idiot. I am the biggest idiot. Fool. Fool. Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin counted his life in detail, feeling extremely sad for no reason. I feel like a mad dog, barking and barking all the time. Dog. This is the dog. Humblest dog. Rubbish. It's all rubbish. Once the resentment in my heart is condensed into substance, it will be hard to let go. At the moment of the end of despair, it seems so helpless. Your Highness, you can't collapse now. We have to find a chance to escape. Yuan Juxiang, the first-class sage of the Temple of the Light Alliance, walked over, gritted his teeth, with a miserable look on his face. When the 6 great demigods besieged Fang Fan before, he didn't intervene, and kept watching the show from the sidelines. He thought that these shitty things had nothing to do with him, but he also seemed very calm in his heart. But things are impermanent. Who knew that damn motion would sacrifice it? Then he successfully summoned the god of destruction. Judging by the appearance of the god of destruction, this guy is definitely not a good thing. Staying with this guy is undoubtedly seeking skin from a tiger. When the time comes, I don't know how to die. The extreme panic in my heart swept over, and for a while, my entire face became loose. With a cold heart, let's talk to someone. Pain, want to cry again. Too difficult. I see. Labor and management are just watching a show. What the hell are you doing playing so realistically? Why can't I afford it? Look for opportunities. Oh. It's just doing useless work. Just take a look around, where is there any chance? No chance. All of this is being destroyed. Heh. He. It's really, true irony. That's fine too. It's over, it's over. It's enough to live anyway. If you can't enter the realm of the gods, this life is meaningless. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin said bitterly. Who wouldn't want to be alive if they could? Saying this now is just to make myself feel a little better in my heart. For the rest, what's the point? In the end, I still pull the hips. Fully pull the hips. Sanctions are nothing in the end. Anyway, at that step, it was still cool. No point, really no point. This kind of life is very depressing, really depressing. Instant depression. Your Majesty, actually, in fact, it's not like we have no chance at all. Call. If we can serve Fang Fan now, maybe we still have a chance. Your Majesty, the idiot Wang Tu had a grudge against Fang Fan before. He has been doing things all this time, and even wanted to kill Fang Fan. The time has already begun. The relationship between Wang Tu and Fang Fan is indeed endless. But Wang Tu is still Wang Tu, we are us. Wang Tu is dead now, the troubles he caused, do you want us to wipe his ass? This won't work, this will definitely not work one. It was never our responsibility. Your Majesty the Pope, after all, Fang Fan is still a member of our camp of light. We just have a little conflict. Now go and confess to him in the past, maybe he can accept us. That way our safety is guaranteed. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4058. Yuan Juxiang blinked, then said expectantly. He originally wanted to find Fang Fan by himself, but after thinking about it, he should bring someone along. He just rushed over like this, always feeling not very good. In all aspects, don't you have to be more cautious? Otherwise, if something happens, how will we deal with it then? Let Johan Hanlon be the vanguard to charge in front, at least some landmines can be dealt with cleanly. Everyone here actually has their own little thoughts. It is no exaggeration to say that each has his own ghosts. No one is a lamb. Perhaps children were quite innocent, but after being tempered for hundreds of thousands of years in this big world, are they still innocent? Just for whom? It is impossible to be simple, they are all a bunch of old men. What? Pray for Fang Fan? Take refuge in him. I am the Pope of the Temple of the Light Alliance. What a noble status am I? Ah! Have you lost your mind? You asked me to find him for shelter. Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin suddenly lost his temper, and then roared one after another. No matter what, at this time, I still have to maintain that poor self-esteem. Yuan Juxiang was speechless. Call. What is it called? Do you still know that you are the Pope? The point is, what is the use of your current identity as the Pope of the Temple of the Alliance of Light? Who cares? If no one cares, aren't you just a sand sculpture? Isn't that the case? Such a point, do not understand or what is going on. You can't always be like the sand sculpture, it's really boring to watch. Your Majesty, now is not the time to talk about this. Live is the most important thing. Others think that those dignity and so on can be put down for the time being, These are not questions. Only by living can we have hope. Your Majesty, the overall situation is the most important thing. Yuan Juxiang took a deep breath, couldn't bear the urge to curse, then licked his face and continued to persuade in a low voice. At the very least, let the Pope feel a little satisfaction in his heart, right? Otherwise, this thing doesn't cooperate. Too much trouble. Going back and forth, the mentality is in a state of temporary collapse. It's all gimmicky, just messing around. If you didn't have that little use, I would have kicked you away a long time ago. What the hell are you allowed to talk nonsense here? The tutor you mentioned is fine. Indeed, if you can't even guarantee your life, it's useless to say 1,000 things. Is it possible to live just by taking refuge in that Fang Fan? Maybe not. Although there are quite a few powerful demigods around him, isn't that demon slayer an absolute demigod? But what? He was suppressed to death by the demon heaven's shell, which was seized by the god of destruction. Now go and have a look, there is nothing left, only the pool of blood proves the tragedy here. Why? It's miserable. To put it bluntly, this is life. To fight against fate. I don't know where the courage comes from. The last, still can only be followed by a comprehensive end. It's not going to make any sense. Depression, it will only follow the overall depression. A muttering sound followed, and then he couldn't help but sigh. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin shook his head, he is very pessimistic now. Your Majesty the Pope, have you seen that even at this time, that Fang Fan still doesn't seem to panic at all? Doesn't that explain the problem? If he is really not sure at all, do you think he can still be so calm? It shows that he's fully prepared. Such an opportunity, if you don't grasp it, it will be completely cold. Furthermore, this Fang Fan has been bathed by divine grace several times before. Even Her Majesty the Goddess Athena personally hugged him, even kissed him. That's why it has been rumored that Fang Fan is the reincarnation of the true God. I just thought it was possible before, but now, I'm sure that Fang Fan is the reincarnation of the true God. Otherwise, there are too many things that I can't understand. That way, we don't have to feel nervous or anxious. It's a good thing for us, a great thing. His current clothes are indifferent, which shows that he is absolutely sure that he can control the audience. Now we have no other way out, we can only seek Fang Fan's shelter. At least, under Fang Fan's protection, we still have some hope, don't we? Otherwise, it will be a dead end. Your Majesty, the power of life and death is now in your own hands. Your Majesty, you must not be slack and confused at this time. Your Majesty, it's time to make up your mind. Your Majesty the Pope. Excited shouts followed. Yuan Juxiang's ability to fool is also top-notch. As he was talking, he tossed the name of Guangming's religion, Yuan Hanlin, a little bit emotionally. Yes. I've already seen everything. The so-called dignity and face are all indifferent things to me. Did I care? Not give a damn about. I even look down on life and death. Isn't it even more bearish on face? Ha. Ha ha ha. That's the truth. In this way, my heart gradually became much more comfortable. No problem. This is no problem. This wave, just deal with it indifferently. Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin rolled his eyes, then looked at where Fang Fan was, and walked slowly. Yuan Juxiang followed behind, and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. After all, he was persuaded. In fact, you also want to do this yourself. You have been arguing with me for so long, why are you pretending to be a wolf with a big tail? What are you doing? Seeing the bright Pope Yuan Hanlin and the first-class Saint Yuan Juxiang coming together, Tai Shujia immediately became vigilant, and then glared at Yuan Juxiang and Yuan Hanlin. Ha! Is it Your Excellency Tai Shuji? Your Majesty Tai Shuji, don't get excited. Misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. The Pope has something to say to His Excellency Fang Fan. I also hope that Your Excellency Tai Shuji will be convenient. Yuan Juxiang hurriedly smoothed things over. That's what he does. The bright Pope Yuan Hanlin is still putting on airs until now. What a headache. Find me. What's the matter? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, feeling a little surprised. Cough. This Pope wants to form an alliance with you and fight off the enemy together. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4059. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin speaks outrightly. Fang Fan. Good guy, are you alright? Brain really has no what's, right? Why did you rush over so excitedly all of a sudden? Before, we were still at war with each other, and we fought to the death. Come here now and say you want to do this? Bells and whistles. That's all. Fang Fan curled his lips and said calmly. Well. That's it? How? Form an alliance. If you form an alliance with me, you will have 2 more powerful demigods. In addition, I can help you coordinate the overall situation. If this is the case, won't the luck take off? Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin licked his lips, thinking to himself, his consciousness gradually fluttered, and everything was silent. This thing is so exciting. When the excitement is over, it just flies away. He seemed very excited at the moment. Until now, the arrogance of being the Pope of Light still remains. Oh. I don't want an alliance. Please leave. Fang Fan sneered, looking at the bright Pope who was full of interest. He seemed disapproving. Did I hear wrong? You actually don't form an alliance with the Pope. Do you know what an honor it is? I am the Pope of the Temple of the Alliance of Light. I am the master of the Light Camp. The Light Camp should be under my full control. After all, you are still my subordinate. Now that I'm putting such a good opportunity in front of you, do you still want to refuse? What on earth are you thinking? Are you sure you're insane? Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin had an expression of disbelief, and at this moment he gasped frantically, and blood gradually gathered in his eyes. The excited heart and trembling hands seemed incredible anyway. While chattering, this consciousness has already taken off. Very surging, very eager. For a while, I couldn't grasp it at all. Isn't that clear enough? I said, I don't need allies. I don't want to form an alliance with you. Go away. Otherwise I can't help but kill you all. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and there was a flash of hostility in his eyes. His words were in place, and the feeling of oppression was extremely strong. This wave is basically like this. You dare to despise the Pope. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin was furious. He is the Pope of Light. He is the uncrowned king of the entire Light Camp. Shouldn't everyone in the Light Camp be grateful and kowtow to him? Asshole. Asshole. Assholes to the max. Teeth are chattering crazily at this moment. The mentality gradually sank into a blood collapse. If you can't grasp it for a while, it will explode completely. In the cool moonlight, let's talk to someone. It's too humming hip. For a while, I couldn't control the grievance deep in my heart. Ah. Dog thing. I want to punish you. In the name of the gods of light. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin is serious. Fang Fan. Yuan Juxiang. I'm afraid this is a fool, right? Although the previous Pope of Light was not very wise, at least he was considered sophisticated, right? Now this posture, why does this posture look so much like a giant baby? His Holiness is joking with Your Excellency Fang Fan. Ha! Joke. His Holiness, come here, I have something to say to you. Yuan Juxiang, the first-class sage of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, darkened his face, and immediately pulled the Pope of Light aside. At this moment, the black lines on the forehead flickered frantically, and for a while, the consciousness was being completely destroyed. It's a mess, it's just a mess. Mess up? It's all messed up. Now I just want to vomit blood. Too hip. Really can't stand it? Your Highness, what did we say before? You forgot. Where are we now? Didn't you say it before? Can't you suppress your temper a little bit? Now we can only survive if we stay behind Fang Fan and rely on his protection. Otherwise, we will have no hope. This matter, how many times have I told you this matter? Your Majesty the Pope. Can't you let go of that poor Supreme? Yuan Juxiang was so angry that his whole body was shaking. That's it? How about controlling the entire Temple of the Alliance of Light before this? On weekdays, he doesn't show up too much, and I feel that the Pope of Light is quite unpredictable. Now the more you look at the sand sculptures. He vomited blood for a while. Brains are a nice thing, but why the hum don't you have one? As long as you have a longer brain, you won't be so stupid, right? These thoughts in the mind gathered in an all-round way, and then they were completely destroyed in a short time. Everything goes without saying, and it is being pulled bit by bit at this moment. That's basically it. He is disrespectful to me. I'm also the Pope of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, right? I can't stand his attitude towards me. Humph. What the hell? A cold snort swept across the room. While talking, he couldn't help but pouted at Zhehe. This wave is to create a certain degree of crushing situation, basically that's it. Very real and very relevant. Yuan Juxiang. Speechless. More and more speechless. Brother. Can you stop holding it? Thought it was before? You are the High Pope of the Temple of the Alliance of Light? In the entire lower realm, there are only two peak combat powers at the peak of the demigod realm. Are you one of them? What time is it? Can you wake up a little bit? Damn, the status of the Pope of Light is a hammer. Just look at how many elite combat powers are left in the light camp. As for the top demigods, it's nothing, after all, even labor and capital have been promoted to the top demigods, and Fang Fan has more than a dozen top demigods under his command. Right and wrong, can't you see clearly? Or do you just don't want to see clearly? Let's have a long snack. Yuan Juxiang seemed very tired. Could he not be tired with a giant baby pope? If you don't vomit blood directly, it's not bad. At this moment, this brain seems to be a little not very bright. But still have to endure. After all, it's under the fence. Your Majesty, don't think my words are ugly. Anyway, there are two ways to negotiate with you now. Either continue to show your arrogance, and then stay here, and after the body of the god of destruction controlling motion completely devours the body of the dark Pope Motu, it will be your turn. A dark Pope and a bright Pope have fought for a lifetime anyway, and they just happen to be companions on the road to Huanquan, and we can go on the road together later. If you think this is all right, keep up your arrogance. This is your freedom. The big deal is death. Life and death are bearish. If you don't accept it, do it. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4060. Yuan Juxiang, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, said directly. He could see that the Pope of Light seemed to be a little unable to understand people's words now. If you don't say it directly, but if you are a little more tactful, he will be fine. What? Let me die with that old fellow Motu? No. Absolutely not. Impossible. I can't die. Guangming Pope Yuan Hanlin was startled, and then quickly shook his head. He can't die. What the hell is playing with a hammer? When you die, you have nothing. At that time, it will become dark in front of my eyes. Looking at the past at a glance, life is hopeless. This also plays with a hammer. When the mentality is broken, there is no point in continuing to toss. Numb the moment, let alone talk to someone. This wave doesn't mean much. What about talking here? So, don't you have only one last choice left? Go and bow to Fang Fan, or even, surrender to him directly. Only in this way can there be hope and the right to fantasize. Otherwise, isn't this just a way of thinking? I have already said this to this point. If you still pretend to be crazy with me, His Holiness the Pope, there is no need for you. I don't want to continue playing charades here either. We don't have much time left. Obviously, after the Dark Pope Demon 2 has been completely devoured, it will be our turn. Whether you want to live or die is mainly up to you. That's the end of the story. It's meaningless to say anything else. Yuan Juxiang shrugged, and gradually let things go. This is the case. Many times, it's not that you can do what you don't want to do. Many times, you simply don't have the ability to control yourself. In the end, I still had no choice but to bear it aggrievedly. Gritting your teeth, you want to vomit blood, right? That can only be followed by a spit to the end. It's nothing, just a few slaps, that's all. Me. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin was a little confused for a while. At this moment, there is naturally some dissatisfaction in my heart. But the reality is such a reality, which is already in front of his eyes, and now he is not allowed to be self-willed. Obviously, he no longer has the willful capital. What to do, could it be, do I really want to surrender like this? I am still the Pope of Light, I am the Supreme Pope of Light. Do I need to surrender to my former subordinates? Where is my dignity? Where is my countenance? But Yuan Juxiang is right, this is almost my last chance. If you don't grasp it, it will be cold, completely cold. This damn it all. Why do you have to force me? I'm innocent. I can't die now, I have to live. I haven't gone to God's domain to take a look in this life, how can I die? I thought death was very far away from me, but I didn't expect it to be so close. Worrying. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin is under great psychological pressure at the moment. While consoling himself at the moment, the brilliance in his eyes flickered frantically. His consciousness was destroyed little by little, and he let go of those so-called dignity. In fact, when you think about it comprehensively, what is the significance of these? In the end, there will still be complete extinction. No point at all. Sand sculpture. They are all sand sculptures. All sand sculptures. It's a big deal, I'll pretend to surrender for a while. After this disaster is over, I will fight back. Well, then I will make that Fang Fan my slave again. In this way, I didn't pay anything, but I found a way out for myself. Yes. That's it. It should have been like this long ago. Anyway, my structure must be big, it must be big. A muttering voice followed, and the brilliance in his eyes flickered rapidly. The more I think about it, the more intense this feeling becomes. Following the devastation little by little, the feeling and consciousness are about to be sublimated in an all-round way. Happy. Extremely graceful. As for the others, I still care about a hammer. Small problems, all small problems. While the thoughts are indifferent, the state of mind is also completely stable. While thinking about it, the picture in front of him seemed to be being torn apart little by little. Feel boundless. Consciousness tremor. Let's go. Just do what you said this time, I bow my head. You're right, I have no way out. The Pope who once stood high has fallen. The Dark Pope is already decapitated, what dignity do I, the Light Pope, need? At the end of the day, it's the greatest honor to be alive. I don't care, I don't care. Whispering sounds followed, and the breathing gradually became even. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin pulled Yuan Juxiang towards Fang Fan's position again. Good guy. Boy Fang Fan, those two are here again. Their desire to form an alliance is really strong. According to what they mean, it doesn't seem like a joke. Boy Fang Fan, you'd better play it safe on your side. This is not right. A whisper came, and the picture in front of him was being torn apart bit by bit. Real and urgent. Bai Piao stretched her waist, the current scene is quite interesting. Fang Fan's current thoughts are not on these two guys at all, he is now thinking about the strategy against the enemy. The Pope of Light, the City Lord of the Protoss, these are all things for the funeral, if you want to deal with it, it is actually quite simple. But this motion's body, which was seized by the god of destruction, is not easy to deal with. This time, it seemed to be different from before. Fang Fan has come across this kind of situation all the way. But when it was dealt with at that time, it was basically casting Rage God's finger. Rage God's divine finger, the divine skill is combined with Shangfan's index finger phalanx and a small section of the real God's bone, so the power can be exerted to the extreme. It has a miraculous effect on those so-called true gods, consciousness and souls. But those are all things in the past. No one can grasp what has evolved into what it is now. It all seemed messy, and no one could grasp it well. My mind is messed up and my consciousness collapsed. Fang Fan. Please accept me. I am willing to fight for you. Fang Fan. Fang Fan. Bright Pope Yuan Hanlin gritted his teeth and yelled several times. Fang Fan didn't bother to talk to him at all. It even feels a little noisy. It feels like there are crows croaking in the brain. It's really noisy right now.